Every single day, watching your business crawl forward, inch by painful inch, while others seem to explode overnight. It's enough to make the blood boil. That gnawing frustration deep inside, when you pour in your life, your energy, your very soul, and still, the needle barely moves. You know your product is solid. You know your vision is sharp. Yet, the growth you crave, the breakthrough that fuels hope and sanity alike, it's missing. It feels like the system is rigged, doesn't it? Like no matter how badass you are, the deck is stacked against actual, explosive growth. But here's the brutal truth. The problem isn't you, and it isn't your team. It's the playbook. The tired, blunt, overused strategies everyone else is still clinging to. Growth isn't about throwing more money at ads or chasing trends like a mindless follower. Everyone's doing that. That's why everyone feels stuck. It's the same hamster wheel, and it's stealing your life and your dreams. What's worse, it's killing your potential, your fire. And that right there? That's a crime. Now listen carefully, because here's the explosive secret almost nobody talks about, something so powerful, so overlooked, it's like a double-edged sword resting quietly in your grip. The underrated market tactic that can explode your growth not tomorrow, not next quarter, but right now. Stop chasing customers. Stop begging the market to notice you. Focus all your energy on creating what can only be described as magnetic alignment between your product, your story, and your tribe. This isn't about broad demographics or surface-level data. You need to dig mercilessly deep into psychological resonance, emotional triggers, pain points people barely admit even to themselves, the kind of stuff that slams into their gut and makes them need what you have, not because they're rational, but because they're wired to crave it. Forget generic value propositions. Forget being everything to everyone. Pick one specific person, the real, raw human you want to serve, and obsess over them until you bleed. What keeps their eyes up at 3 a.m.? What scars do they hide? What dreams do they choke back? That's where the gold is. Build your product messaging and every touchpoint around that exact wound and that stubborn hope. Make your offer a release valve for their frustration and the fuel for their ambition. Here's the kicker. Once that alignment is savage and crystal clear, everything else accelerates. Your marketing no longer wastes breath. Channels flood with the right people. Your sales convert because it's not selling, a parent of desperation, but mutual unlocking of a dream. Your community grows, but unlike the hollow, noisy tribes you see everywhere, yours becomes a fortress of loyalty, relentless support, self-driven motivation. You don't need to convince, persuade, or brute force success. You attract it with a magnetism that's frightening in its power. But it doesn't stop there. This alignment strategy is brutal in execution. It demands you slice away your own illusions, the shiny distractions, the ego padding, the safe business plans that comfort but cage you. You must dare to refuse comfort, to tear down vague market-friendly personas and get bloody honest with who you serve. Adjust your product ruthlessly. Kill what doesn't speak to their core. Pivot when your gut screams, grow or die. This tactic is rare precisely because it requires ripping off the mask of traditional growth hacks and facing the chaos of radical honesty. It's the antithesis of fast and easy. No ads can fix a weak alignment. No SEO can mask a hollow promise. But if you dive into this raw core, this primal connection, you unlock a level of growth that feels less like a climb and more like a rocket launch. And for leaders, founders, investors who feel the system is a trap, this tactic is your escape hatch, a way to leap beyond the illusions we're handed, to create something alive, vital, and unstoppable. It's how you refuse to be a cog and instead become the engine. How you make markets not just places to compete, but landscapes to transform. For those stubborn few who are sick of the noise, the mediocrity, and the endless grind without results, this is your call to arms. Tear down your assumptions about what growth is supposed to look like. Strip away the best practices that everyone repeats mindlessly. Obsess over true, ferocious connection with your real people. Build products and stories that don't just exist in the market, but own it by speaking to primal human needs that no algorithm understands. Do this, And you won't just see growth, you'll feel it, like an electric current shooting through your business, your team, your entire mission. You'll watch doors open that others only dream about. Investors will flood in, not because you pitched perfectly, but because your market proves it's burning with demand. Your competitors? They'll scramble to catch up as you redefine the game. So stop. Stop chasing numbers and empty tactics. Stop praying for luck or the next shiny trend. Instead, dig fierce and deep. Create alignment so pure and so explosive that your market doesn't just respond, it cannot live without what you offer. Stop hoping and start daring to build a real connection. Because when you do, growth won't be a struggle or a grind. It will be a rapid, unstoppable burn. Your problem right now is clear. You're stuck playing by an old, broken set of rules in a world that's changing faster than you can catch your breath. But here's the call no one wants to hear. It's not the world's fault. It's not the economy's. You're stuck because you're waiting for something external to fix what's inside your business. What's missing isn't money or luck, it's alignment. Want to explode growth? Burn that old playbook. Get obsessive about your people. Cut your product and your story down to one fierce truth. That's the hidden, underrated market tactic. It's the fastest, most brutal way out of stagnation. Now the question is, are you ready to actually do it? To cut through the bullshit, fight for clarity, and create a growth machine no one can touch? Because if the answer is yes, everything just changed. Step into that fire. Make your move. Explode.